If you're tired of chasing respect, success, and recognition, this message is for you. Real power isn't something you run after, it's something you become. And once you do, everything else begins to move toward you. This is how you stop chasing and start commanding. In this video, I'm going to tell you something that, if you truly understand it, you'll never have to chase success again. Too many men wait to be crowned before they carry themselves like kings. They wait for validation, a title, applause, believing power lies somewhere outside of them, waiting to be handed down. But let me tell you something plainly. Power is not a position you acquire. It is a posture you assume. The man of power does not seek permission to stand tall. He does not require others to see his worth before he walks with purpose. No, he walks with certainty because he has decided to. He governs himself first. He speaks only when it builds. He moves not out of impulse, but with intention. His presence commands, not because he demands, but because he is aligned. How you sit when no one watches. How you speak when no one listens. How you think when no one claps. That is your power. That is the soil where your posture takes root. The world may never give you the title you seek. So what? Do not wait to be appointed. Appoint yourself. Carry the energy now. Move like it's already yours. And soon enough, it will be. Power begins not with the conquest of others, but with the conquest of self. The greatest illusion of our time is that strength lies in controlling the external world, bending people to our will, manipulating outcomes, influencing circumstances. But what good is it to command the world if you cannot command your own thoughts? A man who has not mastered himself is no king. He is merely a puppet dressed in royal robes. You cannot rule the external if you are a servant to the internal. And most men are just that, servants. Servants to their moods, to their cravings, to their impulses. One wrong word and they snap. One small delay and they despair. One drop of resistance and their mind spirals into chaos. Tell me, how can a man lead a company, a mission, a destiny, if he cannot first lead the conversation within his own mind? True power begins in solitude. It begins when you look inward and declare dominion, not over the world, but over your own reactions, over your anger, over your distractions, over the compulsion to react, explain, or chase validation. You become powerful the moment you stop negotiating with weakness. Control your reactions so no man may own your mood. Master your time so no hour is wasted in regret. Govern your focus so no distraction may steal your purpose. The man who builds his inner empire becomes unshakable. Storms may come, critics may shout, delays may rise, and still he stands. While others unravel, he remains unmoved, because his foundation is not built on applause or outcomes or the behavior of others. It is built on self-governance. And that, my friend, is the rarest and purest form of power. True power does not make noise. It creates silence. The kind of silence that causes others to pause, to watch, to listen more closely. The kind of presence that speaks volumes without uttering a word. In this world of constant chatter and shallow applause, the man of power is the one who holds his tongue and holds his ground. A lion does not announce itself. Its presence alone parts the crowd. And so too does the powerful man carry within him a stillness that unsettles the insecure. He does not need to shout to be heard, nor prove himself to be respected. His certainty is his signal. His composure is his crown. Those who yell the loudest, pay attention, are often those most afraid of being ignored. Their need for attention betrays the very weakness they attempt to hide. They talk not to inform, but to be noticed. They boast not from strength, but from inner lack. And so they exhaust themselves in performance, while the truly powerful man sits, watches, and waits, because he knows power revealed too soon is power lost. Speak less, observe more, move with calm, act with precision. Do not be quick to react, defend, or explain. Do not be the first to talk in a room. Let others reveal themselves while you sharpen your perception. Let their noise be their undoing, and your silence be your strength. Because in the end, the man who says the least, but lives the most, becomes the one the world listens to. Your silence, when grounded in certainty, will echo louder than all their noise combined. No empire can stand if the ruler is at war with himself. And yet, this is the silent tragedy of the modern man. He dreams of building greatness, yet serves the most undisciplined parts of himself. He cannot resist the urge to scroll, to indulge, to rage, to explain. Every time he surrenders to a momentary craving, he trades a piece of his kingdom for a fleeting comfort. Each indulgence is a crack in your empire. Understand this truth. The impulsive man is always poor, not just in wealth, but in energy, in clarity, in the respect of others. Why? Because no one entrusts power to a man who cannot control himself. He may be charming, he may be clever, but he is unstable, and instability breeds collapse. Power is not granted to those who feel ready. It is awarded to those who have demonstrated restraint, the discipline to remain calm when insulted, the will to stay focused when distracted, the maturity to choose principle over pleasure. That is where power is born, not in the moment you speak, but in the moments you choose not to. Power is forged in silence, in the 1,000 little battles no one sees, when you walk past temptation, when you rise without snoozing, when you delay gratification, not out of fear, but from vision, when you hold back words you would have once weaponized. These moments are not small. These are bricks in your inner fortress. You don't attract power by feeding every urge. You attract it by transcending them. The man who controls nothing in himself will soon find he controls nothing around him. But the man who defeats his impulses becomes a force that nothing outside can shake. If you want to be powerful, you must bury the impulsive self, not with force, but with discipline, not with guilt, but with purpose. For when the self is governed, the empire can be built. The most dangerous man in the room is not the one making the most noise. He is the one you didn't see coming. He does not speak of what he is building. He does not announce his training. He prepares where no one is watching. And because he does not seek applause, the world cannot predict his arrival, only feel it when he moves. Power is built in solitude, recognized in silence. This is the principle most fail to grasp. In a world addicted to performance, to showing, sharing, proving, the truly powerful man retreats. He trains in silence. He studies when others sleep. He sharpens his weapons while others are distracted by applause. Because he understands, noise is not strength, preparation is. The man of true power lives by a different rhythm. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't need the world to see his hustle, because his results will speak in tones no voice can match. He does not need to shout when his presence enters a room. It is felt, not heard. In solitude, a man becomes real. He sees what he is. He faces what he must fix. He builds not a version of himself that looks good, but one that is good, even in the dark, even in the unseen. This kind of power is unshakable because it is not borrowed from others' approval. It is earned alone. When the moment to perform arises, the silent man dominates, not because he's lucky, but because he's prepared, not because he's louder, but because he's grounded. While others spent energy broadcasting, he spent it becoming. So do not fear being unseen. Use it. Use solitude as your sacred ground. Use the silence to refine your edge, because when the time comes, you won't need to announce yourself. Your results will do it for you. He who reacts is ruled. He who selects is king. These words are not poetry. They are a blueprint for sovereignty. The average man lives by emotional weather. If the day is sunny, he smiles. If a challenge appears, he crumbles. He is a puppet, his strings pulled by moods, opinions, and circumstances beyond his control. But the powerful man is different. He is not driven by how he feels. He is driven by what he has decided. Power does not dwell in emotion. It dwells in principle. Emotion has its place as fuel, as intuition, as a signal. But when it becomes the master, the man loses his kingdom. The world will poke, prod, and provoke. Not because it is cruel, but because it is chaotic. Your job is not to tame the world. Your job is to remain untamed by it. The man of principle does not yell back when insulted. He does not abandon his path because he is tired, nor does he betray his standard because it feels hard today. He has already decided who he is, and that decision is final. This man does not ask, "How do I feel about this?" He asks, "What must I do despite how I feel?" His emotions do not make decisions. His values do. To rule your life, you must build a constitution within. Like a nation governed by laws, not moods, your choices must rest on timeless truths, not temporary feelings. Define your principles like clarity, discipline, honor, courage, and let them rule every reaction, every reply, every decision. Because when others are tossed like leaves in a storm, the principled man stands like a mountain, and the world, though chaotic, bows to the man it cannot move. Power is not found, it is forged. These are the words every seeker of strength must tattoo upon the walls of his mind. Do not wait for lightning to strike. It won't. Power does not come in flashes of genius or moments of divine luck. It does not descend upon the lazy or whisper to the idle. It is built, repetitively, relentlessly, in silence. You see, the average man is addicted to moments. He looks for the one seminar, the one book, the one video that will change his life. But power is not a moment. It is a method. It is the brick you lay each day, even when you feel nothing. It is showing up long after your mood has left the room. It is doing what must be done, even when you don't want to do it. That is where your strength is born, not in revelation, but in repetition. Your habits are your factory. Your standard is the mold. Each morning routine, each hour of deep work, each meal chosen with discipline, each time you act with principle over pleasure, you are not just living, you are forging. You are creating a man that commands power because he has mastered himself. There will be no parade, there will be no applause, but silently, brick by brick, your life becomes a fortress, unshakable, undeniable. The world will not give you power. It will test to see if you've earned it. So stop chasing the next insight. Go back to the basics. Repeat your disciplines. Sharpen your edge. Rise at the hour you promised. Train the body you own. Honor the word you gave. Over and over and over again. Because power isn't something you find. It's someone you become. The man who needs nothing commands everything. Let those words settle in the quiet chambers of your mind, for they are the foundation of true power. We live in a world addicted to clinging to titles, to comfort, to approval, to applause. But understand this, what you cannot walk away from owns you. And a man cannot call himself powerful while he remains a slave to external attachment. True power is not in possession, it is in detachment. It is the quiet courage to say, "I do not need this, therefore I am free." The weak man collects things. He stores praise, chases validation, fears silence. He molds himself to fit rooms, to please crowds, to avoid rejection. But in doing so, he trades his soul for comfort. He becomes a puppet to applause and a prisoner to things he was never meant to serve. The powerful man does the opposite. He walks away. He walks away from arguments that do not matter. He walks away from comfort that weakens his edge. He walks away from relationships that drain his mission. He walks away from attention that pollutes his focus. Why? Because his self-worth is internal. It is rooted in mission, not mirrors. In standards, not approval. In clarity, not crowd noise. And here lies the paradox. When you no longer need the world begins to take notice. It leans in. It begins to chase the very man who stopped chasing it. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the quiet dignity of a man who has learned to let go, and in letting go, discovered that he had power all along. So ask yourself now with brutal honesty, what am I still clinging to? And then remember, power is not proven by what you hold. It is revealed by what you can walk away from, without flinching. Where your attention goes, your power flows. Power begins and ends with attention. Not brute strength, not titles, not applause, but the ability to command your own mind, to direct your awareness like a general commands his army. The modern man is flooded with noise, notifications, opinions, distractions. They knock on the door of his consciousness every moment, and most, they answer, they surrender, they scroll, they react, they hand over their power in fragments, one glance, one click, one indulgence at a time, until there is nothing left. But the powerful man, he does not just guard his time, he guards his attention. He does not allow gossip to enter his gates. He does not allow every alert to break his focus. He does not chase trivial information. Instead, he selects with precision, with principle. He understands this eternal truth. Attention is energy, and energy is life. Where he places it will either build his empire or bankrupt it. Your ability to focus deeply, deliberately, and repeatedly is your superpower. In a world of shallow thinkers, the deep thinker rules. In a world of scattered minds, the steady mind builds. Train this skill relentlessly. Create boundaries for your mind. Design a fortress around your attention. Remove what doesn't serve your mission and fortify what does. Remember, it is not that others are more talented, it is that they are less distracted. You don't need more hours, you need fewer leaks. So ask yourself daily, who or what has hijacked my attention today? And more importantly, am I willing to take it back? For the man who controls his attention controls his direction, and the man who controls his direction, he controls his destiny. The man of power does not move more, he moves better. Power is not found in busyness. Power is not noise, nor is it motion for motion's sake. Power is found in precision, in the ability to do not more, but less, better. The average man exhausts himself through scattered effort. He rushes from task to task, constantly moving, yet going nowhere. His calendar is full, but his purpose is empty. He confuses activity with accomplishment, speed with strategy. But the powerful man, he is deliberate. He moves slowly, not out of hesitation, but out of control. He chooses his battles. He chooses his words. He chooses his path with unshakable intention. He is like the sculptor who chips away at the stone with patience, knowing each strike must count. His actions are not many. They are meaningful, not rushed, refined, not reactive, ruthlessly intentional. Understand this. The world does not reward movement. It rewards effectiveness. When you act from a place of inner alignment, of principle, of vision, even the smallest step becomes monumental. One decision made from clarity will outmatch 1,000 actions made from confusion. The man of power is like a scalpel, silent, sharp, and exact. He doesn't swing like a hammer to impress. He strikes with precision to impact. Before you move today, ask yourself, is this necessary? Does it serve my mission? Does it simplify or complicate? If it does not move you forward with purpose, do not move at all. Because real power is not in how fast you move. It's in how focused you are when you do. You only find your edge by facing resistance. Every man must ask himself, do I truly want to be powerful or merely comfortable? For comfort is the silent killer of greatness. It seduces the average into believing they've earned rest before they've built their foundation. But power, true, unshakable power, is never found where things are easy. It is found in friction. Friction is nature's way of refining. Just as the sword is shaped by fire and hammer, the man is shaped by trial and pressure. Without resistance, there is no edge. Without edge, there is no force. Do not avoid the discomfort. Run toward it. Seek it. Touch your limits with your bare hands and confront them eye to eye. For in the heat of resistance, your character is exposed, and more importantly, it is built. The man who endures hardship that others avoid becomes rare, and rarity is power. He trains when others rest. He shows up when others retreat. He leans into fear, uncertainty, fatigue, and finds himself sharpened with every blow. The world senses it. It cannot be faked. The presence of a man who has bled through the battle and risen through friction, it changes the temperature of the room. So if today brings resistance, welcome it. It is not your enemy, it is your forge. Let the others chase ease. You chase your edge, because only in friction do you become fire. Your line in the sand defines your kingdom. A man's standards are the silent architects of his destiny. You need not announce them. The world will feel them in how you walk, how you speak, how you decide. For power is not found in the goals you set, but in the standards you refuse to lower. The weak man is always in negotiation, bargaining his values for comfort, for acceptance, for temporary gain. But the powerful man does not beg the world to understand him. He does not dilute his code to please the crowd. He has drawn a line, and that line is sacred. When others fold, he stands. When convenience knocks, he chooses conviction. When mediocrity whispers, he roars in silence by remaining still, disciplined, unmoved. Power is not about what you say yes to. It is forged in what you say no to. The world will test you. It will offer shortcuts, distractions, temptations wrapped in sweet disguise. But each time you choose to rise above, each time you reaffirm your code without needing applause, the crown becomes heavier, and you grow strong enough to wear it. Raise your standards in thought, in effort, in company, in self-respect. Let them carve your path, even if that path is walked alone, because when you become unavailable to mediocrity, the world must either rise to meet you or fall away, and that is the mark of power. You must stop being who you were to become who you are. The greatest prison a man lives in is the belief that he must remain the same. We wear the mask of our past, stitched together by old stories, failures, labels handed down by others. We become so attached to who we've been that we block the emergence of who we were meant to become. But power does not dwell in the past. It cannot be inherited through memory. It must be earned through transformation. The man of power is not loyal to an identity. He is loyal to growth. He understands that his former self was a stepping stone, not a final form. Each day he sheds layers, outdated thoughts, self-imposed limits, emotional habits that once served but now shackle. To transcend is to evolve, and to evolve is to let go. You are not your mistakes. You are not the story others wrote for you. You are not the weakness you once surrendered to. You are your next decision. You are the fire still buried beneath the ash. You are the unshaped potential, raw, immense, and waiting to be forged. Power demands that you die to the old you, not in regret, but in reverence. For that man got you here, but he cannot take you further. So stand today not as a prisoner of who you were, but as the architect of who you are becoming. This is the silent resurrection of the powerful man, not louder, but lighter, not bigger, but clearer. He has transcended self, and in doing so, he commands the future. Greatness is not a lightning strike. It is a slow burn, kept alive by discipline. The modern mind is addicted to instant results, but the man of power knows anything that comes quickly is easily taken. He does not chase bursts of motivation. He lays one brick each day, brick of action, brick of clarity, brick of restraint, brick of effort when no one applauds. Most men want to leap to the throne. They want the final result without enduring the hidden labor. But the powerful man understands, if you skip the process, you forfeit the crown. He embraces the monotony that others reject. He understands that repetition is refinement. Every early morning, every focused hour, every sacrifice when others indulge, this is the invisible forge of power. You don't build a kingdom by accident. You don't attract respect by desire. You earn it quietly, consistently, painfully. Not for the crowd, for the man in the mirror. And when the time comes, when the world looks for a leader, he will be ready because he built himself brick by brick. The man who lives by principle needs no permission. Weak men over-explain. They beg to be understood. They fear being misunderstood more than being mediocre. But the powerful man, he does not dilute his voice by defending his choices. He speaks with clarity and moves with purpose, even when others question, doubt, or mock. Why? Because he is governed by internal law, not external noise. You do not need to explain your ambition to the average. You do not need to justify your solitude, your grind, your higher standards. The moment you start over-explaining, you place your power in another man's opinion. True power speaks through results, through character, through consistency, not through debate, but through demonstration. So hold your line. Keep building. Let your silence carry the weight of your mission. And let those who once doubted observe the empire you built without needing their understanding. It is not your ability to dominate others, but your refusal to be dominated by life that makes you powerful. Most men seek power by trying to control everything: people, outcomes, situations. But this pursuit creates tension, not strength. True power begins when you can remain unshaken while the world shifts, when you can absorb pressure without collapsing, when you can hear criticism and remain centered, lose comfort and stay committed. It's not the storm that defines the man. It's the stillness he maintains inside it. If you're easily offended, distracted, or thrown off course, you're not yet powerful. But when hardship no longer rattles you, when delay no longer discourages you, when loss no longer defines you, that's when you begin to tap into your deepest source of force. Control is an illusion, but composure is a decision. Power is not in bending the world to you. It is in not letting the world bend you. A man does not get power. He uncovers the part of him that already had it. The lie of society is that you must chase something outside to feel complete, a title, a name, a status. But real power is not acquired, it's uncovered. It lives beneath layers of fear, self-doubt, and borrowed identities. You don't need to become someone else. You need to remove everything you're not. The powerful man strips away. He sheds the masks. He lets go of needing to impress. He doesn't pretend. He doesn't perform. He simply aligns. And when he aligns with truth, power reveals itself naturally, effortlessly. Stop searching outward. Start digging inward. Power was never missing. It was just buried under what the world told you to be. When what you say, think, and do are one, you become unstoppable. The weak man is divided. He says one thing, thinks another, and does something else. He speaks of goals, but does not pursue them. He wants respect, but compromises character. He dreams of freedom, but won't leave comfort. This inner fracture kills momentum, and without momentum, power dies. But the powerful man, he is aligned. His thoughts are disciplined. His words are intentional. His actions are precise. There is no conflict between them, only flow. People feel it. They trust it. Not because he is perfect, but because he is real. Power comes from wholeness, and wholeness comes from walking your truth. No shortcuts, no false fronts, no performance. Just raw, disciplined alignment between what lives in your mind and how you move in the world.